can regulate it, regulate the people, you know. And of course, you've heard of blockchain. Yeah, it also cryptocurrency is distributed with what they call a blockchain. Yeah, looking at all transaction activities initiated by the currency holders. Yeah, so you can trade. If you get some money, you can withdraw. You know, use it for different purposes. For some people, it's their lifetime business. For some people, it's their lifetime business. It's their investment. That's what they do on a daily. Yeah, it's different from forex trade. Actually, Bitcoin is different from forex trade. Yeah, for forex, you have to be looking at the volatility, but the computer is trading for you. It knows when the expected loss is going to happen. It knows when to, you know, relax and not do anything. So, well, of course, there are very many types of cryptocurrencies. We have coins. These are coins that are created on various blockchains of different crypto programs as currency of exchange. Then we have tokens as well. Yeah, tokens, just like we have electricity tokens. It's also that. Yeah, so, well, of course, with cryptocurrency, the transactions are cheaper. The fees are cheaper compared to the banking system. They're cheaper compared to the banking system. The banking system's transactions are a bit higher, but for cryptocurrency, if you are making a transaction, yeah, it is much cheaper. So that's one of the advantages, I could say. Yeah. So definitely, and of course, the transactions are quick and secure. You're well secured of your transaction, unlike the bank transfers. Yeah, because it's only from your crypto account to no one is supposed to be in the know compared to the bank. So, well, of course, cryptocurrency transfers happen almost immediately and are secured thanks to the blockchain technology. Yeah, and of course, looking at how people are adapting slowly to the evolving cryptocurrency that is happening all over the world. And people are actually embracing cryptocurrency because of its many benefits. You know, you can, I mean, someone invests 3 million and they're making 400,000 a day. They can be able to feed their family, first of all, leave money home and take their children to school. So it's worth the risk, actually. Yeah, it could be worth the risk. You know, you don't know how people are affording to buy these big luxurious cars. You do not know. Yeah, so there are benefits, and of course, people are really trying to achieve through this. You know, and I've really accepted it in the financial world that cryptocurrency does exist. First of all, also acceptance is quite very key in society on how the different programs work. And of course, like I said, they have higher returns. Yes, what you invested, you get even, oh God, times what you invested. If you invested 2 million, you will actually get investment within like few months, and you are set to go. So the high returns, from buying or even trading them. Yes. Now, for instance, a person who bought crypto worth $1,000 would have made a huge fortune. Yeah. Then, if you start now, it's not even too late. Actually, you could start now. Now that in Uganda the penetration is not so much. Very few people into the cryptocurrency thing. Yeah, the program. But if you start now, trust me, in 10 years to come, it's going to be the big thing that we know in Africa, even in Uganda as well. So, for someone who invested $1,000 then when it had started, how much more do you think they have now? They're in billions, the billionaires here. Yeah, and of course, cryptocurrency has been, known, for irregular, illegal activities. Yeah, and of course, using cryptocurrency to transfer illegal funds into different accounts. Well, of course, we do not know how this all works, Yeah, but they're trying to decentralize the nature of the blockchain, making it impossible to identify a criminal if transactions happen. So illegal activities do take place. People use those different channels, to smuggle in money, to launder money. Yeah, to launder money, actually, to be precise on that. So it is risky, kind of risky. And of course, looking at trade, since it's trading, the volatility. Yeah, the volatility of trade. Sometimes if you're trading in dollars, sometimes the dollars are high, sometimes they are down. So, but the value is never stable, actually. It's never stable. So you have to be really cautious because, like I said from the start, it is a matter of risk. It's a matter of risk. For forex trade, it's even worse. You may lose. You run mad. People have really run mad in forex, but for crypto, the program itself really predicts. If they see volatility that day and they see the currency, the computers will not trade that day. Yeah, so that's how the system was actually designed. Of course, the cases of data loss, yeah, just in case, just in case the inconveniences, you can lose your data and everything you had started trading is lost. Yeah, so just because this thing works on electricity, that works on Wi-Fi or data, yeah, data, what we know as data. So in case of anything, yeah, your funds can go and your investments are all. And of course, someone once said, what if it ever comes a time and this thing all collapses, what would you do? So that is why they encourage people, if you've made something, weekly, just withdraw it, withdraw and use it for something else. And of course, and those are some of the disadvantages of really investing in cryptocurrency. But however, it is a good move if you're a risk taker. If not, if you're a risk taker, and if you want to get good money, yeah, just sit at the comfort of your home, have your data, have your Wi-Fi on, and you're ready to trade and see how it's going to go. Well, that is it for our morning call. Right about now, we're going to see what is happening to the press. Here in the Daily Monitor, the East African, the New Vision, the Daily Monitor, and of course making headlines here in East Africa as DRC relaxes its stance on Kenyan ties, looking at Ruto's special message to Tshisekedi has helped restore trade and diplomatic relations within Kinshasa. Yeah, and of course, this is what is happening away from Uganda. Yeah, and of course, IGG to present a Mong report to President. And of course, UK faulted for rushing with sanctions. That's on page 5. And of course, floods cause mayhem in eastern Uganda. Well, of course, they had talked about it being a rainy season. And of course, we saw a cyclone that happened in Tanzania. Yes, well, for Uganda. uses, yeah, the network has been slow, mostly in the nights. It has been slow. If you've been keen enough to notice, yeah, people do not notice, yeah. And of course, Museveni enumerated, Ubo speaks out on census progress. And of course, the reason we asked for a public holiday was for recall purposes, and they managed to cover 560,000 households out of 1 million, which was the target for one day. Yeah, ish, yeah. Now, of course, First Lady to promote women's health and family. Yes, of course, this was yesterday, and of course, and of course, looking at how partnerships are driving Uganda's sustainability. Well, of course, looking after crafting the SDGs on the global scale, the goals have to make meaning to the local people. And of course, this brings life to the catchphrase, think globally, act locally. Looking at Ubo's progress report on the achievements on the SDG 17, the very last, yes, yeah, 17, yeah. And of course, looking at the GDP revenue to GDP ratio stood at 13.36% in 2020 and close to 13.73%. The National Development Program 3 target of 2020-2021. Yes, I'm looking at it. And of course, local internet penetration rate, looking at internet users per 100 people, they stood at 25% in 2019, below the 30% of the National Development Plan 3, which was of 2020-2023 target. So penetration is still, well, of course, looking at phones and internet, 52% of adults, yeah, can access glued to internet, have mobile phones rather, and that is 9.7 million people had mobile phones, yeah. And of course, looking at 10% had access to internet. That is the reports of 2019. Looking at 2020, 2021, yeah. And of course, the domestic budget funded by domestic taxes from 2016 to 2017, there was 1.1% increase from 87.8% to 88.9% as of 2019-2020. Yeah, so they're giving us reports here, looking at the SDGs right here, the Sustainable Development Goals that are meant to streamline the progress of each country, that is according to the UN. Yeah. And of course, government set to recruit 2,500 teachers. I'm seeing different schools right here lined there. Yeah. So a lot is actually happening. Now, of course, judiciary allowed for embracing alternative dispute resolution. Yeah. Looking at the census, how it turned out, most people, not most people, some people were enumerated. Of course, this is the Prime Minister saying pulling fellow women down danger to emancipation. Yeah, and of course the Prime Minister said that the government is doing everything to ensure headway is made through the pro-women programs, including legislation and finance. Yeah, looking at the parish development model. Yeah, the parish development model as well. And of course, they say that they have ensured that a sizable share of funds in each district are ring-fenced for women. Yeah, since women are also vulnerable. So one of the vulnerable people that we count in under. Yeah, so definitely we have to look into that as well. Yes, so of course, looking in the Daily Monitor, government starts irrigation schemes in Serere district. Of course, slow start Mars census in eastern Uganda. Looking at 5,000 people displaced rather, as Lake Victoria waters rise. Well, of course, Uganda to suffer slow connectivity, internet connectivity. Now, of course, from communication company Airtel, which has over 80 million users in East Africa shared, they are either slow or intermittent service due to outage. Yeah, for those that use, I'm very sure you've been keen enough to do understand. And of course, the empire of coffee, a bean that conquered the world. I'm seeing a book here. Is there poverty in your cup of coffee? Well, yes. Now coffee is no longer going to be, a cheap commodity, as long as you put in much effort as a farmer and make sure that what you're putting out on the market is really worth it. Yeah. So coffee has been a life changer, game changer for most people. For those that started it earlier on, of course, with different price fluctuations. Yeah, but for those that have it in huge numbers and huge sums, trust me, they have been earning much out of coffee, which is one of our cash crops that we have, away from tea and cotton. And cocoa not so much. Cocoa not so much compared to other East African countries. Well, of course, And of course, 4 sectors, 7 ways for wealth, job creation, and of course, empower inspectorate of motor vehicle unit. Yes, motor vehicles have to be looked into as well. And last, we are looking at the air pollution index in Uganda, which is in Kampala, which is 8 times the required, 40 from 50 to 40. So from 5 micrograms. For us in Kampala, we emit 40 micrograms, which is beyond the normal required by the regulator. Now, of course, Trade Minister asks Ugandans to utilize opportunities from COMESA, that is the Common Market of East Africa and South Africa. Yes.
Smart 24, driving business.
MTN Moment kutusaka Rosi live in concert kujahazi PM nyonyo mo hip hop kuna rubale Program 18 Mei 2024 na fefe bosi weekend kama koma rapo na nyina freestyle jagora mwana wakulu kutebika munganiga sasa liva muchamba misana na chidonga tuli marapu melele pokinga mtwale bidi mtwale tano Emeza kakande, emeza vivya milioni 3. Downloading MTN Momo app. Osaliwe kebitula 5 kubulichi 10 ku tiketi. Woguli kwa MTN Momo. Tiketi ya gula mtwalo gumo. Ade VIP. Ebinichi tundu. Tunina de bote cruise. Mitedwa musente MC MTN Momo. Givo establishment the angry management.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at no extra cost. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will confirm that you qualify for Showmax at no extra cost as a DSTV premium subscriber. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
In iPads. Chris, tablets, over what? Welcome back from that short commercial break. You're still watching Smart Men's Business. My name is Matthew Katsini. I'm joined with Doreen, and we're going to be sharing what is happening in East Africa and, of course, across the borders of East Africa. Well, you can always catch us on YouTube. We're always there live on this very hour. You can go on YouTube, just type in Smart 24 TV. And if you're a newcomer, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, and notifications are going to be coming on your way. And depending on the different programs that you would love to get in and watch. Well, on Facebook, we're on Smart 24 TV Official. Yes. And on X on Smart 24 TV Now, you can catch us there. And of course, we have the Smart Dicto application You can catch it on Google Play Store or on Apple Store. There we have a match for you. You can listen in. We have different radio stations. You can listen in or watch. And of course on DSTV channel 372 and on GOTV on channel 320. Yes. Isn't it amazing how we are set for this Monday morning, hoping that you had a very long holiday, very long public holiday, and with the weekend inclusive, and you're set, ready, steady for work. Well, looking at East Africa, Tanzania is looking into the automotive industry, and of course they actually did procure, inaugurated the tractor and lorry assembly plant in Dar es Salaam, in a development that will cut importation costs and create jobs for Tanzanians. Well, I guess good morning, Doreen.
Belated good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to join you, Mercy.
Yeah.
On this very good day, as we are waiting to be counted.
Oh, you have not?
Not yet, not yet. Have you?
Same. I have not. I was at home on Friday, yes. Saturday, yesterday, and by now I don't think people are going to be accessible. Unless
we are really wondering. We are puzzled as to how they are going to get people. How are they going to follow them up? How are these enumerators going to really track them down? Because that is what everyone is wondering about, and that is the hot topic. That is the hot talk all over town. Because people have been, waiting, and everyone is waiting. They're standing at the gates. They're standing at the roads. They're saying, "Can we get counted?"
Yes.
So we're going to delve deeper into that.
We're going to first look at what is happening in East Africa. So Tanzania actually inaugurated an assembling plant for lorries and tractors. So this move is meant to actually create employment opportunities. People that did engineering are going to work in those plants. I think do we have one in Uganda, an assembling plant?
I think assembling plants. Yes,
we do. Buses.
Yes, and there's quite one that I have heard of downtown, and you can get to see a couple of adverts on different trucks behind. But that is typically assembling. But getting back into talking about Tanzania, it's quite doing well.
Yeah,
actually.
It's doing well.
East Africa is doing quite well.
There's a lot of competition actually now between Tanzania and Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you talk about tourism now, because at one point, Kenya, beginning of year, they hiked the fee, the entrance fee, and now Tanzania looked at it as an opportunity, so they lowered their prices. So you can imagine the kind of competition that is in there when it comes to tourism. Now, of course, this assembly plant is located in the city of Goboni area, and of course with Saturn Corporation Limited facility, which has a capacity to assemble over 30 tractors and 9 lorries daily, and production can readily be scaled up to meet the customer demand. Yeah, so they're going to be shipping parts, and they're going to be doing the assembling part. That is what we do as Africa. We do assembling because we do not have the kind of technology that can be used to manufacture the cars themselves. But if we had, that is the thing actually we've been talking about. These Western powers know that once they shift the knowledge in terms of technology to us, we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable because first of all we have the minerals. We have the minerals that are required to make these smartphones. The Democratic Republic of Congo is rich in cobalt.
As you talk about that, Mercy, I kept thinking about what someone said. Projects are very clear and the implementation is perfect. That's why when we hear about this assembling plant, we hear about the train earlier. Everyone is back, whether it is Kenya, whether it is Uganda, we are back to what are we doing? What are the people doing? And sometimes, you know, this is something that is great, and I think we should pick a leaf and have some urgency. And some of this feedback and you know, in reply to that, I'm very sure a couple of them will say, you know what, just as one official said in reply to the train, and I remember they mentioned something that if your neighbor marries a brown woman, do not rush to also do the same. But no, there's urgency. There's urgency, and we must do something about it. But it's great news because this is Africa, and we celebrate the milestones, of course, of our brothers. But let's do something. Let's wake up. We can't keep singing the old same song.
Yeah, you know, actually, Tanzania is more drawn to COMESA.
Yeah.
You know, compared to the East African community, because it's in both COMESA and East Africa. Because East African community is dwindling, much as we have a different entrants, you know, different countries coming in to join the East African community.
Which is wonderful.
It's wonderful, but the originality of it has lost its purpose. You know, each country is now divided. We have lost the initial purpose of setting up the East African community.
Yeah.
You know, we have tariff barriers. I mean, this is something that we're supposed to work out. You know, I do not have to have, fine, it's okay to have certain requirements to enter a country, but then trade, you know, trucks are being halted, you know, commodities are being sent back. And what?
But you know, even as we talk about the shambles, yes, or the chaos that is within, it's very important to note that the ethos is actually wonderful. The idea behind this integration and this coming together, the unity is wonderful, because like Lumumba has said before, and all these other great Pan-African, you know, people have said before, that Africa is only as great as how together, as how united we are, and that's the reality about it. Now, the thing that is interesting to me about Tanzania is that Tanzania does not play. Tanzania does not play. If you come up and say, we are going to put that railway and it is going to do A, B, C, D, Tanzania will stick to its word, come up on its timelines and do what it is supposed to do. And the funny thing about it, the weird thing, it's not even funny, you know, the real thing about it is that if the rest of the countries are sluggish about their development within their countries, Tanzania won't care. It will go along. Yes, it says, we came together. Minutes were drafted. We agreed. You signed. I signed. We are doing our part. So do whatever you can. So whereas we are meant to be united, Tanzania is saying, and it is demonstrating that, you know what, we may be united, we may be part and parcel of the African movement, African development, but if our neighboring countries are not on board about development in their countries, we shall leave you behind. Yes. We shall leave you behind. And I think categorically this is important. And sometimes you must be able to stand up. You know what happened during COVID? It still took a stand and came out. You know what has happened with the railway? It still took a stand and came out. And the rest of the African countries are still lagging behind. Kenya is still doing well. It's moving on. Uganda, sorry about that. Uganda, we need to do something about this. We need to do something and up our game and move on.
Yeah. So they're expected to actually be actually assembling up to 30 trucks
per day.
Yeah,
yes.
Per day. So you know, they're going to create 2,000 direct jobs.
Wow.
Yeah. So for those that studied engineering, those that you know that have been working in different factories, tell you what, it's going to be beneficial for the country. Now, of course, this contributes to economic growth, increases employment opportunities, and boosts the government revenue. That is according to the president of Tanzania, that is Samia Suluhu. Well, of course, I like the fact that, you know what gave this woman a push was the former president, the one that passed.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, during the COVID-19, when everyone was shutting down their countries, they were like, you know what,
yes,
we are leaving it open. Yeah,
that's
leave
true.
alone the notion of where an estimate of 3.5 billion barrels of oil and producing an average of approximately 149,000 barrels per day. And that is, most countries are giving reports for last year in this year. So this was last year's report. Now, of course, South Sudan's oil sector plays a vital role in the country's economy. Looking at their forecast of the 2022-2027, South Sudan's oil market is poised to grow at a compound annual rate of 1.5%. You see, South Sudan is one of the risky countries. First of all, conflict.
Very high.
There is a lot of conflict.
Yes.
But the fact that even amidst their conflict, they have oil.
Yeah.
That makes it, well, it's quite risky for a person to invest in, actually, because you're skeptical. You do not know when I invest in what will happen the next day.
Yes.
But if at all, because they have tried over and over again to, try to bring, peace, between the different, parties that are conflicting. Yeah. But even amidst those conflicts, if they are able to produce this kind of oil, how much more do you think that they will produce if there was,
if there was peace, stability.
Yeah, stability.
But also look at this. It says South Sudan aims to attract investment through ongoing or upcoming upstream licensing rounds to boost liquid fuels production for export and for domestic use. South Sudan is a representative. It is the perfect poster child for countries that have failed. No, it's not like it's comedy. It's not. This is the reality about it. You can see it's part of the poster child, complete with other countries that are very endowed. Whether it's diamonds, blood diamonds that they're talking about, whether it's DRC here just next to us. South Sudan comes in just like that. But the potential that can be harnessed, yes, the timber, the beautiful uranium, all these different minerals in Congo, the fuel, the oil, yes, in South Sudan, the diamonds elsewhere. It is a poster child, and it is not only in isolation. There's so many other countries such as this in Africa. The reality about it is that I have had insinuations made that not actually insinuations, there was research about it from those that have written far and wide and traveled, and said that before that, within the African countries, yes, they had very good systems that worked for them, that were very inclusive of the different tribes that lived within those particular boundaries. Because one, they weren't countries per se. Yes, these were open boundaries legally recognized by those within and out of the perimeters, because we were all brothers. We considered ourselves as brothers. But then there was that understanding that this is the boundary that belongs to this particular clan or group or whatever. So they lived in harmony, and where there was war, of course, war cannot fail to exist within. It existed. Everything had its natural way of getting down to make sure that everything was moving fine. So when the colonialists came in, yes, there was division, and up to now, South Sudan is one of those countries, just as DRC Congo, that is still battling with all those different sentiments and the divisionism that were left there when these people came in. Up to now, there is still no ability, one, looking at the religion anyway, sentiments, the Arabs and the Dinkas. And one wonders, will they ever have peace? They will only have peace if they, as per se, they are able to sit down on a round table and sit together and come up with a particular cohesive plan on what can we do for our motherland. Yes, instead of waiting for others to come in, who is going to, yes, they are coming up with all these different investment plans and to attract investors, which mad investor is going to actually get on board? Unless, yes, it's very, very high risk. Unless there is, and this is the catch, unless there is a reason as to why investment has been made. Because investment true.
Yeah.
It's true. The troops have been sent as well. Because the reality about it is that if South Sudan is settled, oh my goodness, the boom within the trade, the potential that will trickle down to Uganda is enormous. So we really call in that let there be mediation. Let there be active mediation. Let there be something going on.
I think that is the reason as to why. Wouldn't it be the reason as to why it joined East Africa? So that maybe it's also one of the new entrants. South Sudan is also one of the new entrants that we have. And it's one of the youngest countries that have attained its independence just recently.
It is.
So it's hard. It's very hard for them actually.
Yes.
I don't know how long it took Uganda for us to settle.
Yes.
After having gotten independence, yeah, I do not know how long it took to settle. It took some years before the different presidents. So this whole thing of, you like you said, the puppet leaders that we have, that's the thing Niger has been fighting over time.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing, much as we say puppet leaders, at the end of the, I saw Niger now asking for help from these ECFs, this World Bank, asking for you know, for help, for debt, to recover their debts.
Yeah,
this is the same thing they were fighting when the president then was still in power. So there is no way whatsoever we can rely on ourselves as Africans. First of all, we are divided. We are divided. I mean, how much can the African Development Bank do? And someone was question, where does the money from the African Development Bank come from? First of all, before we start saying the African Development Bank. Yeah. Can it be able to facilitate for endangered countries?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But this goes back. It goes back to what we mentioned when we were talking about Tanzania. Yes, and the potential it has and the milestones that it's reaching, because as we mentioned, each particular leader that comes in is not coming in with an isolated development plan. There's a national development plan. There is a bigger picture. And that is why they follow. They actually are integrated within that. And if they are requesting for maybe financing, there is a clear plan as to why that money is needed, not for selfish gain.
Of course.
In countries such as Niger, yes, and other countries, I may not necessarily be, and this is a disclaimer really, because I haven't had as much insight, but the little that I know is that for as far long back as we can remember, in countries that have had a history of volatile economic and turbulent wars, a history such as that, when they come in, each particular leadership is really looking at, this is my glory moment. Yes, this is my time to shine. This is my time to eat. Yes, this is my time. So when they do, and trust me, this is why those who came in before and were giving particular insight, those that have written and read far and wide and traveled, have been saying, you know what, World Bank, when they reach out to you and you know that this is a very unstable guerrilla fighter, can you please reject them? Why are you giving them more money? Why are you increasing the debt within that particular country? Why are you increasing the indebtedness? And yet you know for sure that that money that is being given is not going to trickle down to the masses. It's just going to remain within that cocoon, yes, that cocoon, and be used to actually send out the relatives and send out the girlfriends of the of the guerrilla fighters and the
Bossy, can I borrow fuero? Biggie Money, can I borrow renty? Manager, give me some caloni. Okay, what about 5K?
When you need a loan, you've got MTN Momo. Wesotinge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste of Uganda, yeah,
Well, of course, those are our today's motivation and inspiration quotes of the day. If into the business fraternity, I guess you have to set your goals straight. Every month is a chance for you to set your goals right, to review. That is why people have monthly reports. You do a month report, you assess yourself, and look for a way forward on how you're going to perform best in the coming. We are into the second quarter of the year. True. Into the second quarter of the year. The first was kind of tricky. The sun was too much. The sun was too much, and people in the agricultural sector faced it a little bit rough. But now it's even too much. Now that there are floods, I mean, the seasons are in extremities.
But the reality about it, and this is something it's common knowledge right now, talking about this, that Ugandans are still struggling. Yes, even after COVID, it's not business as usual as yet. Ugandans are still struggling so much. I have had conversations with stakeholders in the education sector, and they have said we haven't seen this before. We haven't seen. We are still indebted. We have debts to pay. Parents are not paying. Parents don't have money. It's not business as usual. And this trickles down. Really, this cuts across. It's within agriculture. It's within every other.
That is when we business. Saw different big companies shut down.
Exactly. So talking about goals. Because yes, there are floods. Yes, the sun is too much. It seems as if the elements are not even working with us as well. But talking about on a positive note, because the great thing about goals is that they take you through your low moments, is they keep you focused. And talking about goals, let's get back to what is hot and what everyone is tracking right now. What is happening? From 2014 till were their goals set
for this?
For this census 2024, 10 years.
Yes,
were goals set?
Well, you see, my problem actually, my concern has always been, once Uganda is done with something, it is done.
It's totally done.
It's totally done. The other things pending. Yes, we have other things to prioritize. So we think in a rush moment when it's almost close to.
Happened in Arua.
No network.
Yes.
A lack of bags and aprons. Can you imagine?
Yes.
And there was money allocated for that. 356 million Billion.
And the gaps. And why are we talking about this as the media? Because we get to put forth issues that are cyclical, that should be addressed. We highlight them. That is our role, to highlight things, aspects that basically gaps that should be bridged. Own airtime, I'm using my own facilitation ABCD to do this. Then there's obviously the discrepancies in the 50,000. Is it for the entire period? Is it per day? And all that. So no wonder if someone comes up on social media and posts and says they just wrote on my gate that I had been counted, but in actuality I haven't. Yes? Is it really a shock that can happen? But let's get back to the nitty-gritties. What is it about Uganda and implementation? Uganda has racked up a very, very terrible CV, terrible reputation in regards to implementation. more activity done before. The magnitude of scaling this, the magnitude of knowing that it's a national activity should have really put the pressure and the urgency of on them to get out and try out the tablets. And get some of the members a week prior to find out, are they working? Is everyone's name in the system? But to come up and start doing this a day before.
Well, I think, you see, fine. The excitement, I think the excitement with the using the tablets and all that. But you have to, much as you have a system in place, you have to create an alternative. I don't think these ladies or men, gentlemen, had books just in case the network or the battery of the tablet goes off. They have backup. That is when you need a book. You go back to the old system. Where we used to, note down. So they did not give it enough time. I mean, how long was the training? 9 days? Is that really enough? Yes.
True. That is something.
We do not know the level of education these people have been to find. Some people have learning.
No, but talk about it. One of the ladies said that she was supposed to be, an enumerator, but when she went there, they told her she's a supervisor. Yes, she's a supervisor, and she says, I don't even know how to use these gadgets, but I mean, I'm a supervisor today. And she was baffled. And the reality is, it is so shabby. It is so shabby, but what can we learn? And this is where Uganda is not perfecting. It is not, because most of the other countries that continuously grow, the number one thing that they do is they learn from their mistakes. They learn from their mistakes. They put in place systems to make sure that the next time that happens, an activity, whether it's within that particular sector or elsewhere, there is not going to be a return to the failure before them. They learn from their past. Is Uganda going to learn? The use of tablets is awesome. It's perfect. Yes, it is perfect. We applaud it. We encourage it. We actually kudos to Yibos for introducing that, because this is the era for digitalization, really. And considering that basically all this, there must be a server to ensure that all this different information that is captured, the data that is collected immediately is uploaded. That's how it should be. So you know very well that if you have that system in place and you're going digital, the very first thing that you should be looking at is ensuring that your partners, MTN, wherever you pick up, so, but remember, behind the comedy and the satire that is really being fronted out in speech and social media, there is actually a lot of seriousness behind this, and something has to be done. Contingency plan. Plan A did not work out as scheduled. Move on to Plan B. Plan B has its hiccups. Move on to Plan C. We are now talking to the to the implementers, because you must be able. And I am a person that actually roots so much for the different, Plan B, Plan C. Continue coming up with alternative, because you can't afford to give up. We're talking about goals, encouraging, as in business quotes. Yes, the goals. Set your goals. Once you have the goal to drive you, you know very well your eyes are focused on that particular goal. You both should be focused on ensuring that as many as possible, all are picked up. If Plan A has not gone as scheduled, move on to Plan B. Plan B has its hiccups, activate Plan C. Let there be sleepless nights for the U-Boss team. Let there be sleepless nights for the U-Boss team until this is done. Because you know what? It does not come out if this information is not coming out and the data collected is not right.
They'll just predict, maybe what now 47 could be now 60
No,
million.
you cannot predict. you cannot predict.
Yeah.
Yes, you can put in that a particular allowance for the the birth that are being the live birth as at that particular time. And from the time the data collection went through, yes, we do allow there's that allowance. But you have the best statisticians within your departments. You should be able to capture this. But this is what we are saying: activate Plan B, activate Plan C. And
that is if they have one.
They must. Let's give them credit.
Okay.
Smart 24 TV, driving business. We are positive-minded. We bring you the latest information, and we are saying, you boss, activate Plan B. If you have already done that, there are still gaps that need to be bridged, and there are lots of things that are still coming up. Please listen, get feedback immediately, and activate Plan C if Plan B is not working out as well.
Well, 26 minutes into 8 a.m. We're going to be back shortly with what is happening in sport. It was a fully packed weekend for the lovers of sport.
Yes.
You'll be letting me know what team is supposed that we can, gang up on them. Well, and of course, entertainment as well. My name is Mercy, and I'm with Doreen. We'll be back shortly.
Smart 24, driving business.
MTN Moment kutusaka Rosi live in concert kujahazi PM nyonyo mo hip hop kuna rubane Kurokanga 18 Mei kubibira ibiwena ena fefe bosi weekend kama koma rapo na nyina freestyle jagola bomwana wakulu kutebigamo Ganiga saseliva muchamba misala na chino gatuli marapu melele Poking mtwale bidi Bia mtwale tano Emeza kakande Emeza bia milioni satu Downloading MTN Momo hapa Osaliwe kebitula tano kubulichi 10 kutiketi Woguli kwa MTN Momo Tiketi ya gula mtwale gumo Ade VIP Ebini chitundu Tunina nebote kuruzi Itedwa musente MC MTN Momo Give our establishment the angry management
This is Jordan. When it comes to classwork, Jordan is magic. Jordan shines. Jordan makes his peers better. Jordan is a true leader. White Star Magic family. Be a leader. Be magic.
Rachel! Rich! The Queen Cobra! The password of the money. The original, no spare parts. The 11th commandment. The question and the answer.
Moses, I know you want money, but I'm also broke.
Ah, no. Money is not an object. These days, Momo sorts me out anytime. In fact, my sister, let me also sort you out.
Really?
I've just sent you instructions on how to get a loan on Momo. I'm here for you. Can I borrow some chips?
When you need a loan, you've got MTN Momo. We're Sotinge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Cooking oil like no other makes your meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda.